welcome to GemChem. Now today's video is on IUPAC nomenclature part 9 video, and here we are going to deal with RS configuration nomenclature. Now before starting, already 8 videos of IUPAC nomenclature is being uploaded. You can watch it. I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. And if you are new to GemChem, do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates. Now let us start. Now, in order to nomenclate the different compounds, we need to have few things prior to discussions. That is, we should know Cahen-Ingold-Prelog rule to determine the priority sequence, and a short discussion is already being done in IUPAC nomenclature part 6 video where we had dealt with E and Z notation of double bonds. And the second thing which are important for this is how to convert one Fisher projection to another equivalent Fisher projection. Now detailed discussion of this is being done in stereochemistry part 3 video. So you have to watch these two videos before coming to this video. So I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. Now let us start today's video. Now R and S nomenclature. R stands for the Latin word rectus meaning right, whereas S stands from the Latin word sinister meaning left. Now assignment of configuration, that is whether R or S, is done based on application of two rules. First rule is the sequence rule consisting of several standard subrules, and we will focus on this rule first and then go to the chirality rule. Okay. Now the sequence rule basically arranges 4 ligands of a chiral center in the priority sequence. Now what do we mean by chiral center? It is a center of carbon which has 4 different ligands attached to it. Now different substituents presence denotes chirality. Now this detailed discussion of the chiral center is being done in stereochemistry part 1 and part 2 video. You can watch it. I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. Now the chiral center is then viewed from the side. It will be from side remote from the lowest ranking group. Now after getting the sequence, that is priority sequence, we mark it as A, B, C, D, and this D is the least priority group, right? So we have to place this lowest ranking group, that is D, away from us. That is, when we see the structure, we should keep the lowest priority group away from our side. That is, basically we should keep it below the plane. So we have to keep in mind that the lowest priority group should be below the plane, whether it is Fisher projection or flying wedge projection. And the last point is, if from this point of view the arrangement of A to B to C appears clockwise, that is right-handed direction, configuration is R, and if arrangement appears anti-clockwise direction, then the configuration is S, and this is known as chirality rule. So this third point is our chirality rule. As we go through the examples, you will understand it better. Now we have to know the rules or the sequence rules of Cahen-Ingold-Prelog so that we can continue with our priority sequence. So these are the standard subrules. First is nearer end of axis or plane precedes the farther. That is, this is the proximity rule, and we are not interested in this for particular this video because this is applicable only for axial and planar chirality, that is allenes, phenyls, cyclophanes, and we will deal it with in the next videos. Okay. Now the second is higher atomic number precedes the lower. The substituents having the atoms should have highest atomic number to continue with the priority series. Next is, if this rule is fulfilled, only then you have to go to the next one. That is, higher atomic mass precedes the lower. Then we have to consider the atomic mass. And if only this one is fulfilled, then we have to go to this one. So for each atom we have to do this, then go to this one and then continue. Now I think it is little bit complex, but when we go to example, it will be easily understood. So continue with this video. Now cis precedes trans, Z precedes E. That is, we have seen what is Z, what is E, what is cis, and what is trans. Like pairs, suppose a compound has 2 R's and 2 S, will precede unlike pairs, that is RS or SR. MM or PP precedes MP or PM. Now what is MM, PP? We will discuss it in the IUPAC series only. It defines the type of helix in a compound and not here details is required. Now RM or SP precedes RP or SM, whereas MR or PS precedes MS or PR, and small r precedes S. And the last rule, which is here in the standard sub rules, is R precedes S and M precedes P. Now first look at this one. Now if you have watched how to define a Fisher projection, then you can solve this problem easily. Now let us see. Now according to the Fisher projection, we know that if this is a carbon, then this is C, this is A, and these are below the plane, that is B and D. So from this we can understand that D, that is, we know A gets most priority, then B, then C, then D. So here D is placed below the plane, that is away from us. So condition is being satisfied. So we can consider now for the nomenclature this particular compound. So if we proceed from A to B to C, we can see that we are moving in clockwise direction. So this particular compound is nomenclated as R. Clear? Now if we proceed for the next one, that is this one. So if we draw it explicitly, this is D, this is C, this is below the plane, so this is A, and this is below the plane, B. Now if you focus on D, D is above the plane. So this particular configuration cannot be used to assign R or S. So we have to get an equivalent Fisher projection. So what we can do, we can have an exchange of 3 to get an equivalent projection. So ultimately we get this kind of thing, that is, this is A, here comes B, here comes C, and here comes D. So how this conversion is made? This is made by exchange in a group of 3. There is 2 ways of exchange. We have shown here one way. You can watch the other way in the stereochemistry part 3 video. Right. Now this can be now assigned, the nomenclature. So let us see what is the assignment. So we ignore the D portion, right, and we go from A, from 1, this is 1, then 2, and then 3. So we go in the opposite direction, that is anti-clockwise. So it is S. Right. Now it is also essential trick to understand that whenever it is not in correct orientation, then answer is always opposite, as it is going to come in that orientation. So if we see this compound again, that is this one, and if we go from A to B to C, we are getting R. So R is not our answer because D is present above the plane, and we can directly write it as S. So this is a trick. No need to convert to the equivalent canonical form, but easily we can get it as S. Now we will see all the examples using trick as well as the normal ways. Now if we go to the next example, what we can see? There are 4 substituents, right? So what are the substituents? See this one is OH, Cl, CH3, CH2, OH. First atoms are being considered. So here O, here Cl, here CH3, and here CH2, OH. So remember that Cl has the highest atomic number. So we will mark it as A. So let us start marking A. Then second one is oxygen, right, B. And the third one is C. There is 2 C's. So how can we determine this priority sequence? This is C, H, H, OH. Whereas this is C, H, H, H. Now in this case, both of them are having carbon. So how to determine the priority sequence? Then we are going to deal with the second atoms. Here are 3 hydrogens, whereas here are 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. So this one gets the priority. So this is our C. And when we move from A to B to C, it is clockwise movement. So this compound has R nomenclature. Okay. Now we will try out and practice to determine the priority sequence. If we mark it as CH, we have to open the structure and write it in order to get the correct priority sequence. CH, H, C, H2, CH2OH. This one is CH, CH3, CH3, and here that is CH, H, C, CH3 and CH3, and here is a hydrogen. Now we mark this one as 1, 2, 3, 4. Now first is the carbon atom. So carbon is common for all, right? If we go for the next atoms, that is hydrogen, hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen and carbon, 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 hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen and a carbon. Now oxygen has more atomic number, right? So this number 1 gets the priority first. Next we go for this, that is this one and this one. So if we look into this, this has 2 hydrogens and 1 carbon, whereas this has 2 carbons and 1 hydrogen, and this has 2 hydrogens and 1 carbon. So carbon has more atomic number, so this has more carbon, so this has the second sequence. Now if we go for these two, that is we are going to deal with this 2 and 4. So here we get exhausted with this atoms, so we have to visit the next atoms, right? So let us visit the next atoms. So if we try to visit the next atoms, we see that there are 2 hydrogens and carbon, 1 carbon, whereas in this case 2 carbons and 1 hydrogen. That is for the next one 2 carbon and 1 hydrogen, and in this case 2 hydrogen and 1 carbon. So again from this we can get this one is more prior. So our fourth one gets the priority, then the first one. So this is how we determine the sequence rule, and this is very important. Okay. Now if we go for this one, let us see how it can be done. First we write it, right? So H, H, CH3, and this one is H, H, CH2, CH3. It contains C, D, 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 whereas in this case we have C, H, it should have been another hydrogen here to complete this. So C, D, D and D. Okay. So it must be CH2, C, D, 3. Okay. So now try first, pause the video and try for your own self. Then you can see that you will make a mistake, and then I will start. Okay. Now see, again we are marking 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we see first one, all of them have carbon. So this is exhausted for the first atom. We go to the next atoms, hydrogen, hydrogen, carbon. Here hydrogen, hydrogen, carbon. Here deuterium, deuterium, deuterium. And here hydrogen, hydrogen and carbon. So we see that this and this, sorry, the fourth one has 2 hydrogens and 1 carbon, whereas this has 3 deuterium. Now deuterium's atomic number is 1. So this is least prior. Okay. So 3 gets the least priority because all has atomic number 1. We are not going to use atomic mass rule until all the atoms are being exhausted. Next we go for these. So in these cases these are common. So for 1, 2 and 4 we cannot apply this. So we will go for the next one. So this carbon, after this carbon we are going to this one. So there are 3 hydrogens. Whereas here in this case 2 hydrogens and 1 carbon. And in this case we are having 3 hydrogens. Right? So we are having 3 hydrogens. So in both of these cases 1 and 4 we are having lowest sequence rules. So here there is 3 deuterium in the fourth one. Okay. So 1 and 2 we leave. We get that this one is prior to them. So 2 has the most priority. Now we have to determine 1 and 2. So let us establish 1 and 2. We are getting 3 hydrogens, whereas here we are getting 3 deuterium. Now there is an importance of atomic mass comes. Now we will apply the rule of atomic mass since atomic number rule is being exhausted. So here 3 deuterium gets preference over 3 hydrogen. So we can understand that 4 gets more preference over 1. So this is our sequence rule, right? Now if you consider this one, this is also an important example and you have to understand there is double bond and triple bond. So how to do this? Now for each double bond or triple bond we will consider an atom known as phantom atom. Okay. Phantom atom is going to be considered for each of them. So let us see. These are the imaginary atoms which satisfies the valency of element. So if we are going to draw this, then here is 1 CH2 and we will consider, since there is a double bond, so we are going to consider it like this. that is, here is hydrogen and a carbon, and in bracket we will write 0. So this is a phantom atom. Okay. Again, in this case we are having hydrogen, here oxygen, and here oxygen. So in this case we are writing it as O0, and here a carbon. Similarly here a carbon. Phantom atom is being placed in case of this double bonds. Okay. Now if we go for the next one, this is normal OCH3 and OCH3, and the last one we are going to write like this: phantom carbon atom. This is also phantom carbon atom, and here a hydrogen is being attached, here also 2 phantom carbon atoms to satisfy the valency. Now similarly we will apply the sequence rule. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Right. Now here first is carbon, again carbon, again carbon. So first atom gone. Next is hydrogen, carbon, carbon. Whereas hydrogen, oxygen, oxygen, 2 oxygen and 1 hydrogen. Right. And here 2 carbon, 1 hydrogen. Next one, if we go for the next one, then we can see hydrogen, oxygen, oxygen. So 2 oxygen and 1 hydrogen. Whereas here carbon, 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 that is 3 carbon. So from this case we can understand that this has the least priority because it is having 2 carbon and 1 hydrogen. Then comes this one because there is 3 carbons. But here there is same things, that is 2 oxygen and 1 hydrogen, right? So let us write what we have got till now. That is 1 is least prior, then is 4, and then we are going to find out what are the values. Now the next one, which is not being mentioned in the CIP rule, is that phantom atom gets least priority than original atom. So if we see for 2, there are 2 oxygen atoms, one of which is phantom atom and another is original. Whereas in case of 3, there is 2 original oxygen atoms. So 3 will get the most priority over the 2. So this is our sequence. Now try this on your own, and in the next video I will show the sequence rule for this one. This is your homework. Now we are going to deal with few examples so that the concept is very much clear. Now if you see for the first one, we see that first one is having carbon, CHO, OH, CH2OH and hydrogen. So if you observe carefully, from this you can understand that hydrogen is least prior because CHO is this one having a carbon, whereas OH is this one, whereas this one is CH2OH. Now if we consider for this one, this is our A group, and the next one which we are going to consider is B group, and this one is C. Why this one? Because if we break this, this will look like this, right? And ultimately there is an advantage of having 2 oxygens. So this is important. Now if we mark it as A, B, C, so we can see that this D group is present above the plane. So whatever we are going to get will be opposite, right? So since we are going from A to B to C anti-clockwise, so we are getting S, but since D is above the plane, so we will write it as R. Clear? This is a trick to understand. Now if we go for the next one, see again hydrogen is placed below the plane, so there is no problem in it, right? And here we can see that nitrogen is first one because of its atomic number is more. Then comes our COH because both are carbon, whereas oxygen is present in 2 times in the COH. So now we proceed for our nomenclature. So A to B to C, so this is S, anti-clockwise, right? And this molecule is known as serine, and this one is known as glyceraldehyde, first one. Now if we go for the next example, which is having NHCH3, CH3, OCH3 and chlorine. So here we can understand that, let us see what are the priority sequence. So chlorine gets first priority, then comes our oxygen, and then comes our nitrogen, right? And the CH3 is D. So again there is a problem, that is D is present above the plane, so whatever we are going to get will be opposite, right? So as we proceed from A to B to C, we see that we are proceeding anti-clockwise, so it would have been S, but since D is placed above the plane, so we will nomenclate it as R. Clear? Now for this example we will see, try it, then see the solution. Now if we consider for this one, so here we see OH, NH2 and CCl3. So from the first atom only we can assign the value of the priority sequence, so A, B, C, and since hydrogen is present below the plane, so no problem, we are going from clockwise direction, so this is R. Now next one, if we see, we have to assign the priority, so this is COH and this one is C double bond O, OH, and this one is CH2OH, and this is C triple bond N. Now see this one, this on being writing elaborately, we can get this one, that is, this is a carbon phantom, this is having one oxygen phantom atom, and here is a hydrogen in this one. And in this case, there is no such problems, and in this one, nitrogen is having 3 carbon atoms attached, where 2 of them is phantom atom, and here also it is having nitrogen, that is 2 nitrogen phantom atom attached. And in this case, for COOH, we have CO, C, O phantom atom, OH, and this is having a bond, right? And if we consider the priority sequence, we can see that here there is 3 oxygens attached to it, so this is A, whereas here there is 2 oxygens attached to it, and here 3 nitrogens attached to it. So obviously, since there is oxygen and here is nitrogen, so oxygen will always get preference, so we can consider oxygen moieties, that is this one and this one. So here there is 1 oxygen, whereas here there is 2 oxygens, so we can write this as B and this one as C, and the cyanide gets the D. And as we can see that cyanide is being placed in above the plane, so here the configuration will be opposite as we will get. So A to B to C is anti-clockwise direction, so it would have been S, but we will get it as R because cyanide is placed above the plane. Now this is the last one which we are going to deal with. Now if you can see, this is the tartaric acid, and if you have watched the DL nomenclature, then you have seen that there was so much ambiguity with tartaric acid. So this molecule particularly will be solved by using RS nomenclature. So if we see for this particular carbon atom, so here we know that first atom will get more priority if its atomic number is more. So if we see this and focus on this, we can see that oxygen is present here. So this will be A. Next one is COOH and this moiety. Okay, so this one will get more priority. And then comes this big one, and this hydrogen is D. Now if you focus on this, then you can see that hydrogen is placed above the plane. So the whatever we are going to get by clockwise or anti-clockwise movement, we are going to write the opposite result, right? So we are moving from A to B to C. So we are getting anti-clockwise. So we are going to write clockwise nomenclature, that is R. So for the third carbon, that is if we erase all these things, that is for this third carbon, we are getting 3R, this carbon. Now if we go for the next carbon, that is this center, then all these things are our one moiety, then this one, and then this one. These are the ligands attached. Now again same way, this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. And D is placed above the plane. So right now for this carbon, we are going to write the result which we will get opposite to that what we need to write. Now we are writing A to B to C. So we are getting anti-clockwise. So it would have been 2S. But since this hydrogen is placed above the plane, so we are going to write it as 2R. Clear? So ultimately we will write it as 2R, 3R tartaric acid. Clear? And hope I have done lots of examples, so it will be easy for you to answer the checkpoint. So this is the checkpoint. Take a screenshot and try to do it on your own self. Assign the R and S nomenclature, and also remember there is one priority sequence left which you will do for your checkpoint. So these are the molecules for which you are going to assign R and S nomenclature. So this much for today. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe and comment.